Huh?
Hey, we had quite a crowd yesterday. That was really nice to see.
That was a
It
monster
was
crowd.
fun.
I mean, you gotta love that. I mean, let's hope we can get some of them back somehow, some way.
Typically they usually kind of come
Jeez.
back the next day, so maybe
Yeah.
looking for extra pie.
I mean, it was, yeah, yeah. I mean, the pies, they were rolling right out the door, no doubt about it. I tried to get a pumpkin. No shot, man. Everybody was on the pumpkin pies yesterday. They were selling like hotcakes, but good day all in all. You know, we had our best bet come through. It got hammered down to 8-5 late. I was like, man, oh man, where'd this money come from? But yeah, I thought the horse spot on the line in the race. Yeah, maybe one long shot scratch, but 3-1, 7-2 the whole way. And then that was it. It was over. Georgie Hernandez, though, I mean, nursed and released, got away from the gate. That's what we were hoping for.
Yes.
But all in all, pretty good card. Got taken down, unfortunately, out of that early pick four for the people.
Yes, I
We
remember
tried to
that
get it
text.
home for them,
Yes.
but yeah, we move on. You know, we got another day, Friday. As you say, post Thanksgiving, let's gear it up and get cranking.
And that's exactly what we're doing here today on Today at the Races. Let's take a look at what we've got going on for Friday's track. Of course, Keith, a nice day.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same day as yesterday, honestly.
Hey, we can't complain. And I looked at the extended forecast. Man, it looks nice.
It
So
does.
let's keep it rolling. A little chillier, but hey, that's to be expected this time of year. Main track looking very good out there, playing fast.
And let's kick things off with this early pick 5. Of course, in this claiming 40,000, going 5.5 on the dirt for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2. Scratch in the 2, big scratch in the 2 and home port.
Yeah.
Keith, you and I end up with a tritone gal, Jose Magana, Jean Brasino, pretty dependable filly, to be quite honest.
She's been good of late. Last couple races, a little drifty there. 2 races back on the 15th when she ran into a horse that was in really good form. Miss Georgie. And then she overcame a little trouble last time to run a good second. Yes, she's moving up a little bit in claiming price, but she stays as a 2 in life. I think it's almost a little bit of a step sideways move here for me. I like her recent form. I like Brasino. I think she holds still a touch of value in this race. Going to target Bondiva. Bondiva, the 3 horse. These two look like the main speeds to me. Bondiva, I think, is a little bit quicker early if she wants to be. We'll see what Forrest wants to do with Bondiva, but you know, took some pressure through pretty good internals just to fade very late at 7. Is going to work here, 3rd time Lasix for Tim Keefe. I think these two, if they don't get too crazy, could run around the track there together.
Pretty easy way to kick off the day that we have, other than the $82 winner that we had starting off yesterday.
Yeah.
Of course, shout out to Thais giving us a gift of a ride on Thanksgiving. But let's kick into the early pick 4, which does now start in race number 2. Keith, what do you have for us?
Early pick 4 ticket, $18 today, not terribly expensive. 158 to get you started. You got 2 for 1 with that Brooksy entry. The 5, Alas and Alack, 30-1 line. Big price here for Rudy. Yes, we are using this one. And the 8, Spicy Margarita. Race 3 with the 1 and the, race 3 with the 1 and the 6. Correct, Shady Money. And what does it take? Race 4, we go 3 deep. And that 3rd, you could spread a little bit further if you wanted to increase this ticket. Take it maybe up to 36 because you can find a reason for every horse in race number 3. Race 4 with the 4, 5, and 8. A couple key scratches out of there. The 1, Poji Bunsi, and the 3, Golden Tabby. And race 5, we wrap it up with 2 horses with the 4, Cocktail Dreaming. Going to be a strong choice, I would think, there for Kieran. And the 5, there's your price, Gina Perry, Miss Keogh, $18.
Wow, $18. There we have it.
All right.
Let's dive in to that first leg in the starter optional 12-5, going 5.5 on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. You have the number 9 on top. And Spicy Margarita, maybe a little bit of the hair of the dog. Very fitting that some of us might need today. Let's go take a rewind back at that last race.
Yeah, down towards the inside on the 17th. And Raymond Ginter right now, the last couple horses he sent out, they've won. Just would you almost say it's just a touch rank at the break. She kind of tossed her head up a little bit and then ducked inward towards that rail. You'll see horses breaking insides like that towards the rail. They will do that. Had to be used up into contention in battles head and head into and around the turn. Just ran into, kind of a buzzsaw there, right? Mystic Seaport in very good form right now. But Spicy Margarita trying all the way. We're shortening up the 5.5. Yes, there is some other speed in this race, though. Callie, she's going to have to deal with it. She better break good today because you got horses like Speak Your Mind, It's got some pretty sharp speed. Coach Root from Charlestown, Golden Can. There's some flow in here, so we'll see if she'll handle the pressure. She's not a dead solid lock, maybe at a shorter price in here. You may want to look elsewhere. This entry works. Brooksy, I like the 1A Breezy Connection, who ran behind Spicy Margarita 4 races back to make that rally into this pace. And the 5, a loss and a lack, haven't been seen since early January. Off the claim for 12-5, protected here. We saw Rudy Sanchez Solomon with Here's Liam off a 22-day layoff improve 37 points from a buyer standpoint from that horse's dirt try on the go back, best dirt try. Best dirt number. This horse has been working at Delaware and then comes to Laurel recently, but some sharp works. 47-4. I know that Delaware track hasn't been super sharp in the morning or in the afternoon. That's quick, okay? I know the numbers don't jump out at you, but Happy Clouds, who beat her last time, I think she's like a 5 or 6 time winner now and has run upwards of a low 70. Hey, I think this one can sit and make a run here with Cruz.
And there we have it. Keith goes 8-1A 5-7 there in his early pick 4 opener. Race number 3, the second leg is a starter optional 30,000 going. A 1-turn mile on the dirt. Scratch in the 2, Fortune's Fool. Scratch in the 3, Bob Marco. Both significant enough scratches in this race, which leaves you, Keith, with Shady Money, another Rudy Sanchez Solomon horse, J. Ron Barbosa. We're taking a look at this last win of Shady Money.
Exactly. And Shady Money, 3 wins from 8 starts at the mile distance, a couple thirds. And this is just a really, really good effort. It was the 3rd win in a row at the time. And Bob Marco showing that speed. Relaxed beautifully with Concepcion, and then once it took the getting ass and set down here turning for home, I think really responds nicely. You see that and just kind of shifts out and makes this steady progression into it. Shady Money is holding form. I'm not going to fault him at all as the beaten favorite. Maryland Million Day, it just couldn't get to the lead that day. Chased valiantly, disputed claim, a very sharp horse, but the mile works. Stretching back out here just a furlong, I think has positional speed. A clean break puts this one right into the mix early and stays around.
And there we have it. You underneath, you go with the number 6 on the outside. What does it take for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, of course, another one that will be pressing for this pace setup. From
one top trainer, claiming trainer's barn, and they can train any type, but I mean, these guys are good in the claiming game as well. Ness and McGee back and forth. And we've got a few guys like that, no doubt about it, and ladies. And what does it take as a horse? I don't think necessarily needs the lead. I've seen this one on the go back, take to some rating and move into it. So, but with the scratch of Bob Marco, that leaves it open here. Rusty She 550 has shown that speed in the past. So let's see if Rodriguez gets aggressive, because he can battle it out on the front end as well. Comes out of some good races at Delaware, at Charlestown. I think this one definitely works off the claim. 1-6-4-5. Loose Goose set a beautiful trip last time for Jamie Ness. Tucked up inside, worked outward, and really went away nicely, steadily. A grinding type. Doesn't have a blazing move to it, but certainly its running style looks like it's going to suit the 1-turn mile here at Laurel. There you go. The 5 I'm going to toss in, Rusty's G550. I just thought that was an odd spot, a little bit of a tricky spot last time on the 22nd, first off the claim, and not a real big drop here. This guy's run some big races with some trouble in the past, too. Going to come down a little bit off that 15-1, though, with those scratches.
Race number 4 is kicking off the Rainbow Pick 6, as well as a third leg of that early Pick 4, giving you, I have an easier ticket. Again, super cheap, El Cheapo, but I kind of get lucky with a couple of these runners and a couple of these stakes, Keith, and I think you won't disagree with me. So I go 2 deep, all the way from 4 to 6. Races 4 to 6 with the 4 and the 6. Wow, this synchronicity there. But anyway, diving into my single just really quickly. Of course, is Intrepid Daydream, coming off of that effort from the Maryland Million Distaff. We'll touch on that later. And race number 8, I go 3 deep with the 1, 2, and 9. I don't include Joe in the 3, but I just 7's 11. Super Accelerate, Double Crown. For me, I'm just picking the horses that are in great form right now, and that's the way you have to play that race. Again, we'll touch into that. And 3 deep in our nightcap here for Friday, post-Thanksgiving. 2, 6, 7 in that 8 furlong dirt affair. a $14.40 ticket. Okay. And now let's dive into what's going to be kicking it off in this allowance optional, claiming 40,000, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. Scratches in the 1, big scratch in the 1, and big scratch in the 3, Poggy Bonesy and Golden Tabby. Keith, you have the number 8 and Mama G's Wish for Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez taking the reins.
Yeah, I first got the scratch of Poggy Bonesy, then I didn't get the 3 till later. I'm thinking, well, 3's just going to be left, kind of go out on the front end and try to keep on going. So scratch the 2 main speeds out of here. Interesting. That might leave Continental Congress. It's been a little bit tough to rate early. They might just let this one go here for Trumbetta. But I go with Mama's G's Wish on top. I think maybe coming back to that better top number. Last time out, a legitimate excuse. Was sitting in position, got stopped at the quarter pole, had to work outward. And my short comment was, came back on in gritty fashion. I liked what I saw from Mama's G's Wish. I love this draw to the outside. Either, I think it's going to be just off of it. I don't know if she wants to get in a battle with this 5-horse, but I don't think she can let her get too far away either. So there you go. Marvelous looks like the main one to be concerned with that big late surge. We've got Marvelous's race at 7/8 of a mile on the go back. We're going back to March. This is the 18th at 26 to 1. You see the start, pinch back, trouble out of there right out of the gate. And got this one to settle, well back, almost 12, 15 out of it midway on the turn. But I tell you, Marvelous, man, when she gets going, she's solid. She's steady. She's tough. She likes to make that progression from off the pace, and she just comes surging on the outside to beat Street Loot. A good field there. I thought she ran quite well in the Maryland Million Distaff. A track that was holding speed pretty well all day, only to be beaten 4 lengths. She flattened out just a touch, but that was a better group. I think she'll be tough from off the pace today.
8-4-5-7 for Keith Fustel in race number 4, kicking off the Rainbow Pick 6. Race number 5, it kicks off the late pick 5 in this, claiming 10,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 3, going a 1-turn mile on the dirt. Scratch in the 3, Please Marry Me. Keith, you and I both have Cocktail Dreaming for Kieran McGee, now with Martina Rojas yet again in the saddle.
Yeah, she's familiar with this filly, no doubt about it. Rode her 2 races back at the 7/8. Now she's just got to get an extra furlong, which it looks like it's well within the cards here for her. I think she can kind of just go to the front or sit just off of it. Maybe, I thought Please Marry Me would go. She's out. So Cocktail Dreaming, it might be her race to lose on the front end. She's quick enough. She showed she can handle some pressure from Joya Del Sur in the past. Right back, Kieran McGee, this barn has got horses winning left and right and winning in bunches, as we saw again even yesterday, right, in the feature. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so there you go. Cocktail Dreaming, right back, a 7-time winner taking advantage of this condition, no doubt about it.
You give us some value underneath in the number 5 at Miskio, Gina Perry at 15 to 1 with Abnel Boca Chica on top.
Yeah, so you're kind of glancing over the buyer figures really quick, from that standpoint. Huge advantage kind of off the last 2 for Cocktail Dreaming, but the rest of them, Joy Del Sur, that race at Colonial, I don't know what to make of it. That was almost just like do good. But let me tell you something. This barn, we've seen it time in and time out. I've chased a couple recently. They haven't come through. But first time, in this barn on the dirt, it's a good ROI. Turf to dirt here. The last time I ran on dirt was a sloppy sealed surface. It still didn't run too bad. Doesn't have nearly the speed of a couple of these. But, hey, I just want to see Boca Chica settle, get inside, save ground, and just ride that inside trip as far as you can. If she doesn't run second, maybe she can pick up third. I will have a couple bucks to win just to be safe. But, I like that value underneath in race number 5 because if you play a 4-6 exacta box, it pays nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
There we go. So 4, 6, 5 is 6, 8 for Keith Fustel there in race number 5. We will be right back to talk about our jackpot Super High 5.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sport safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
as we get back to business here in race number 6, this maiden claiming 45 kicks off and is our jackpot super high 5 race, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the straight 2-year-olds. Taking a look at Keith, you and I both end up landing on Malibu's Boss Man, Todd Beatty, Angel Cruz, of course, coming out of a mare who is a stakes producer.
Yeah, this race, I got it written here on the page, spread. This is
Yes.
the one that could really make things interesting in your multi-race plays here. The exotics, you're looking at the pick 4, the pick 5, everything here. There's just, it's a big field for 1, 2-year-olds for 2, maidens, okay? And the horses that have run, you know, they've shown some ability, no doubt about it. And you're thinking maybe the 6 Enzo, they were both good tries on the turf. We'll talk about that one in a second. But yeah, I'm going to go with a couple firsters. You know, when I tend in these races, if I take a firster, it's usually on top. And there's 2 that definitely intrigue me in here. The 4, your top selection. Malibu's Boss Man, my top selection. By Holy Boss, about 11-12% with the firsters. Todd Beatty, a little stat on him. He's only 2 for 21 on the dirt with first-time starters the last couple years, but he's 15 for 21 in the money. The last time he brought a firster here, if my notes are correct, was in 2019. The horse ran a big second at 9-1. But it's the family. It's underneath. Sunday in Malibu, really good runner, topped it in 84. And this family, Malibu Moonshine. We've seen that one, right? The horse come down from New York, half the phase, the nation. Another horse that has shown a lot of talent. 3 firsters out of 8 starters here with 2 runner-up tries. So that breeding there suggests a win early. I'll take the shot. We're getting Angel Cruz. Beatty certainly capable. And the 12, Bruder. I have to check with Robin again on the pronunciation. But this one's full brother runs in the next race in race 7, response time. And that's the only sibling out of this mare. So I'm just going to take a shot that this one has some kind of talent like response time, who ran well early. So there you go. This horse was a vet scratch on the 3rd of November, but comes back here. I'm not terribly worried. It's that outer draw in a big field. You worry about that right-hand turn out of the gate and leaving it a lot to do. So we'll take a shot. Maybe you can kind of depend on, if you got to depend on anybody in here, who do you think you can depend on? Maybe the 6 or
here's
the
the
1?
thing.
I don't know.
It's tough because obviously it's just such a deep sprinting turf family. It's just a deep turf family, so we don't know the reliability. It's just to me, it's such a question mark, which is why Keith, you have to go wide in this race.
Yeah.
You can't trust. I don't trust anybody in this race, to be quite honest. So that's the way I go with it. Enzo, I take just because the horse is in good form, you have to go with it and just kind of cross your fingers and hope it transfers, attracts the ride of Sheldon Russell here. Because where does Toledo go in this race? Which even makes things more interesting.
He goes to the 10 for Salzman, who he's.
There we go. Yes, and that's one thing that is kind of consistent. John Salzman Jr., 8 for 3 as of lately with his second-time starter. So he's that's something that always kind of turns up a little bit. I had to include that one in my picks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. One thing for sure, I like the turf to dirt move last time for Rudy's horse from the rail, but then draws inside. The proven speed was dead game in the barn. Is you're riding a trend right now, so maybe you look at that one. I think the 3's got a shot. Turning back in distance. The bottom side was all sprint. This course could sit back and make a strong run as well. But let's talk about the breeding of Enzo. You talked about mainly turf, right? But Whitty has won, and I think he's a stakes winner on the dirt.
He is.
The full sibling to Enzo. This horse has run some races, but you'll wonder, Toledo was originally named. And now I don't know what to go on. I'm still going to trust in Sheldon a little bit here. 4-12, 6-3 in an absolute spread. I would, if you're looking, maybe the first play is take your kind of middle price horse, a horse you like, top and bottom with the field, because it could be anybody's ball game in the 6.
Agreed. Well spotted here for our jackpot super high 5 race to go wide in. And now let's start with our stakes action here on Friday in race number 7 in the politely going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up. Keith, let's get right to it. Let's talk about Intrepid Daydream response time. We've got that Maryland Million Distaff race that we need to just take a peek at.
Yeah, and response time has had a race since, but let's key up here on the Maryland Million Distaff and Intrepid Daydream. She scratched from the route a couple weeks ago to end up going here, and she just kind of, cruises. Get the big filly out of trouble, keep her in the clear, and she just does her thing. She's got a high cruising speed. She's able to engage response time here and just go away at the 7/8 distance. It doesn't matter, 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs. She's really, really good. She can also stretch out as well. But she's just held very, very good form, going for her 4th straight win today. Response time last time was rated. If you look at the short comment there in the Daily Racing Former, your track program provided there by Equibase, rated back at the half and caught 4 wide. I don't think you're going to see a rating back trip today. This horse's best chance to win is to go ahead and send, in my opinion. So we'll see if those two do a little bit of a lineup race. Canoodle interests me. I cried last time on November the 4th. There was a lot of tissues, they're up there in the press box.
Yep.
34-1 given out as a shot, gets beat a half and loom large. Speed was playing okay that day, and this one was just hung out wide every step of the way, but made a good run to loom and just flatten out a little bit late. But I think, hey, on her best, she can pick up a piece here in a shorter field. I will be using her second as well in the exactas.
And as we go right from race 7 to race number 8, Howard and Sandra Bender Memorial Stakes, of course, honoring them going 7 furlongs on the dirt. Scratching the 5/8 to Beer Cold. We are going to take a look right now at your top selection in Double Crown for Raymond Ginter Jr., J. Ron Barbosa in the Maryland Million Classic.
Yeah, I went up to New York after that race at Aqueduct. It just was flat. It was, inside under a pretty good ride around the turn, just never kicked it in. But I thought this race was good, despite only getting beat a length of 3/4. Had aim top of the stretch. Speed was good this day. The leaders got away for those types. Market Maven and Ain't the Beer Cold. Comfortable fractions, comfortable enough. Double Crown kept churning on. 7/8 has won at this distance. A little bit more flow, I think, in front of him today. Be able to save ground. I think definitely to the inside 7s, 11s quicker is going to be into the fold early. He might even be a little bit more tactical than Joe, and then just outside of him, Coffee with Chris. I expect him to get position and maybe about 6 or 7 out of it from the 3s. He's going to have to ramp it up. I mean, Barbosa is definitely going to have to carry him home, but there might be just enough going on up front to set things up for Double Crown. And we talked about the barn they've won with their last 2 starters here. Monday Morning QB, who ran very good yesterday. Real good ride there by Forest Boys. The 9, Super Accelerate. Yeah, I think this one maybe just kind of got knocked off his game a little bit, hence a little bit of a break after that race at Charlestown. 3-year-olds in good form, just like 7s, 11. Came back, Super Accelerate did at a mile. And he ran admirably. I mean, he just chased, was willingly. North Highland, though, came back to run well yesterday. Again, right behind Monday Morning QB. This horse likes the 7/8. You're looking at its position out here. It's a stalk and pounce kind of move. Overcame some trouble a couple races back to win a stake. So I think this guy is going to move back forward for Robin Graham and Horacio Caramanos.
Agreed. You also go with 7s, 11 underneath. You have to honor this one just in the recent form that this one has been for Carlos Mencia, Angel Cruz. But now, I mean, not too much different. This one has been breaking out of the 2 posts. We get the rail post. It's not that much of a difference.
He does. I mean, that was a real good race in the Maryland Million Sprint. We talked about track was kind of speed favoring for the most part. He was under a ride from mid-turn to go ahead and collar the leader. Went away beautifully, and it's just a little bit of a bounce last time. But that number, maybe not as punishing as you might think because of the way Monday Morning QB came back to win, has been proven now without Lasix. We're out without Lasix today, so definitely this horse will be in the fold early, and I think bounces back to a better race off of that November the 2nd try. Because you're looking at the 6, I think this is an interesting one.
We have to talk about the 6.
Yeah, for Tom Morley, his horse has been claimed its last 2 starts. Now, Morley, it's been a long time since he's won a dirt race here. He's been very good with his turf runners coming down. But this horse, in very good form against key horses. The 2-back try, Swisher came back to run very close in the 49er race with Double Crown. That horse was on the lead to very deep stretch, only got beat 2 and change. So this horse, I think it's going to be poised from maybe just off of it. I don't know if this horse wants to get involved in the duel because you're going to have Coffee with Chris, I think, up there as well. But the right kind of rider to sit just off of it and make that move into it. This horse is in very good form right now and has back races that would definitely put this one over the top. It's a good competitive race here in the Bender, no doubt about it.
Very much so, as Keith Eusta goes at 2-9-1-6 in the Bender Memorial, race at number 9. To wrap up our chat here about all of these deep dives into these races is a claiming 10,000, which has number 1-3 for the 3-year-olds and up, going a 1-turn mile on the dirt. Scratching the 8, Quantico Creek. You and I both end up landing on the number 6 in my sister Nancy. You and I both go with my One Last OLS. Let's take a look at them back together last time out.
This was November 4th again, the same day as Canoodle.
Yeah.
So put that in your memory bank here,
Sure.
and think about the pain and suffering I went through from a gambling standpoint.
Gosh, okay. I thought
30
you were
to
going to
1,
talk about a track bias.
30 to 1 gets beat, and now this one makes the move at 13 to 1. We really like this horse this day with the blinkers on for Southland. Makes that initial challenge. Okay, then I'm thinking, okay, I'm calling the chart, and no sweat. I'm good. Watch this horse come back at it. And looking at One Last Alas, this horse tries, but just was hampered by a wide trip every step of the way. But a real gutsy effort coming back, and we're going to see the brutal beat. Let's just say a couple things might have been thrown upstairs. You
are never more allowed to call me dramatic anymore.
There it was. Well, when it comes to that November 4th day was just one of the darkest days in gambling history for me. There's no doubt about it. But hey, we like her right back. Scratch the 8, Quantico Creek.
Yep.
I think my sister Nancy will be up on the engine again today.
Let's move on away from the Solomon sorrow of the troubles of November 4th from Keith Fusto. Let's go to lightning round and touch a little bit on his pick.
Yep.
On his value play that he has for us today here. Of course, that's in race number 2, kicking things off early with the number 5 at 30 to 1 in a last and a lag for Rudy Sanchez Solomon.
Yeah, an initial glance, and no chance, right, from the number standpoint. But look, freshened up, protected, keys up against Happy Clouds, a horse that's won a lot of races and has run fast. This one's retooled. Later start here, back as a 3-year-old. I think this one has got the right kind of flow, no doubt in front of it. They're going to be rolling up there to maybe pull a little shocker here. If not, Exactus tries and supers at that kind of price. You can't leave out, especially with the way the barn has been going. There you go.
And just wanted to touch a little bit. We had, of course, the Night of the Stars at Big Bags at Ticton auction, suffering for the word. But of course, Rich Love and Miss J. McKay topped the Maryland's breads at that sale. Selling, Rich Love sold for $500,000 to Fast Phillies, and then of course just taking a look of what Miss J. McKay sold for. Let's see, she hadn't earned it. She sold it. She sold last year's in Keeneland November sale, but this time she sold for $325,000 to Oakwood Stables, Cheyenne Stables LLC in Clemont. And best of luck to all those connections.
There you go. All right. And
Maryland Breads delivering it.
Yes, absolutely. No, we've got some good Maryland Breads out there, no doubt about it. But so you say you're doing a little bit of Friendsgiving a little bit later. You didn't really do a lot of eating last night or anything like that. You went home, but I tell you what. I went home to a really good feast. I got to give credit to my brother-in-law, Tony, my wife, Gina, and my sister-in-law, Vicky. They all did a great job. Marnie, the whole gang, even Diana, my niece, made some mashed potatoes that were out of this world. So
really?
Definitely put on the pounds last night. No
Time of year.
It was really, really good.
Yep.
There
we have it. Let's go to another Maryland bred and Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches here post-Thanksgiving Day.
All right, good luck, everybody.